People wear kindness like a costume. They smile when they want to scream. They agree when every part of them wants to disagree. They talk about peace while hiding a war inside their heads. It's not goodness, it's survival. They call it being nice, but it's fear wearing perfume. Because deep down, they're terrified of what they'd look like without the mask. Look around. Every smile has a secret. Every compliment hides calculation. Every "I'm fine" is a quiet cry for help. The world doesn't reward truth. It rewards performance. They pretend to be pure because they're scared to be real. Real means raw. Real means judged. Real means hated, and no one wants to be the one everyone whispers about when they leave the room. So they keep the act going. They polish their halos, hoping no one sees the cracks beneath. They play good because it's safer than being honest. But the truth has a way of leaking through the paint. You can hide your face behind a mask, but the eyes always betray what's real. This isn't kindness. It's fear in disguise, and the longer they pretend, the more they forget who they actually are. They don't help because they care. They help because they are terrified of being called heartless. They don't stay quiet out of respect. They stay quiet because they are afraid to stand alone. What most people call goodness isn't strength. It's fear dressed in manners. It's the desperate need to be accepted, even if it means losing the truth inside them. Pretending to be good is the easiest way to survive in a world that punishes honesty. You smile when you want to stay silent. You agree when you know they are wrong. You apologize for things that were never your fault. Not because you want peace, but because you fear rejection. Because being disliked feels worse than being dishonest. Society has built a prison made of polite lies. We wear fake kindness like armor, thinking it protects us, but it only keeps us weak. We have learned to hide behind gentle words and controlled expressions while our true thoughts rot in silence. Everyone plays their part, applauding each other's fake perfection, pretending it's real. But deep down, we know the truth. Most people don't do good because they believe in it. They do it because they're scared of what the world will do to them if they stop pretending. They're not kind. They're just afraid. In this world, morality has turned into a stage performance. People don't do good because it comes from their soul. They do it because someone is watching. Every kind act becomes a transaction, a trade between appearance and acceptance. They feed the hungry only when the camera is rolling. They speak about love only when the crowd is listening. They have mistaken performance for purity and validation for virtue. What used to be a moral compass has become a social scoreboard. People chase approval instead of truth. They want to be seen as good, not to actually be good. They wear compassion like a designer label, polished and rehearsed, only to earn likes, followers, and reputation. Their morality isn't born from conviction, but from calculation. They do what looks right, not what feels right. And when no one is watching, the mask slips. The kind voice becomes silent. The gentle face turns indifferent, because their goodness was never about others. It was always about how others made them feel. They want to be praised, not understood. They crave applause, not authenticity. Real morality doesn't care about witnesses. It lives in silence. It acts when no one will ever know. But most people have forgotten that kind of truth. They built their identity on approval, not integrity. If goodness depends on an audience, then it's not goodness. It's marketing. And the world is full of actors pretending to be saints, afraid that if they ever stopped performing, the crowd would finally see who they really are. Being real is dangerous in a world that only celebrates perfection. From the moment we are born, we are taught to hide our flaws, to silence our pain, and to polish our image until it shines bright enough to blind the truth. The fear of being rejected is carved into us early. When a child speaks their truth and is punished for it, they learn that honesty comes with pain. When they cry and are told to stop, they learn that emotions are weakness. When they show their true selves and are mocked, they learn that masks are safer than faces. As we grow, the lesson only deepens. Society trains us to perform. It tells us to smile when we are breaking, to agree when we are burning inside, to act gentle when our hearts are full of chaos. We begin to believe that being accepted is more important than being authentic. The fear of judgment becomes stronger than the desire for truth. So we bury what is real. We hide our anger, our sadness, our wildness. We cover it all with smiles, manners, and empty words, not because we want to, but because we are terrified of what will happen if we stop pretending. Being real means showing scars, and the world hates scars. It hates reminders that perfection is a lie. Realness threatens the illusion that everyone works so hard to protect, and that is why so few ever dare to be real. They have learned to survive behind masks, even if it means never truly living at all. From a young age, the system trains you to play a part. Blend in, smile at the right time, agree with the right people. If you follow the script, you get rewarded, you get hired, you get praised, you get accepted. But the moment you speak your truth, the same crowd that smiled at you begins to turn away. When you express pain, they call you weak. When you show confidence, they call you arrogant. When you refuse to follow their rules, they call you a problem. Society has built a system that feeds on compliance. It does not care about truth. It cares about control. The ones who pretend, who keep quiet, who play nice, are the ones who rise, not because they are better, but because they are safe. Realness threatens that system. It cannot be predicted, it cannot be manipulated, and it cannot be bought. That is why the world punishes those who are honest and rewards those who pretend. Every job, every friendship, every spotlight becomes a test of obedience. Those who follow the crowd are celebrated. Those who question it are pushed aside. It has nothing to do with goodness and everything to do with fear. Society has made fake people successful and real people invisible. Society does not reward truth. It rewards obedience, and that is why most people choose the mask over the mirror. You wear the mask too. You pretend to be kind when you are tired of everything. You say you are fine when you are breaking inside. You agree with people you do not respect. You laugh at jokes that are not funny. You call it being polite, but deep down, you know it is fear. Fear of standing out, fear of being misunderstood, fear of being alone. Every time you fake a smile, a piece of you disappears. Every time you silence your voice to keep the peace, a part of your truth dies. You tell yourself it is just easier this way, but easy is slowly killing you. You are not being kind. You are being controlled by the fear of rejection. You wear a mask so often that you start to forget what your real face looks like. You are not alone in this. Everyone around you is performing too. Smiles hiding sadness, confidence hiding insecurity, calm voices hiding chaos. The world has become a stage where no one remembers who they are off script. But the cracks always show. The mask always slips. One day you will look in the mirror and realize the reflection staring back at you feels like a stranger. That is what pretending does. It does not protect you. It erases you. The mask you wear to survive slowly becomes the cage that kills you from the inside. Pretending comes with a price, and it is heavier than most people realize. It drains you from the inside. It takes your voice, your fire, and your soul. At first you think you are in control of the act, but over time, the act begins to control you. You start forgetting what your real laugh sounds like. You forget what it feels like to speak without fear, to cry without shame, to live without pretending. The mask becomes more familiar than your own reflection. Each day, a small part of you fades. The real you becomes buried under layers of performance. You no longer chase what sets your heart on fire. You chase what looks acceptable. You no longer speak from truth. You speak from fear. Pretending makes you quieter, duller, emptier. You begin to measure your worth by how well you can fake it. The applause from others becomes your only source of meaning, but it never fills the void. There is no peace in pretending. There is only exhaustion. You convince everyone that you are fine, but deep inside, you know you are lost. Living behind a mask might protect you from rejection, but it also keeps you from connection. It keeps you from yourself. That is the true cost of pretending. You might survive, but you will never truly live. Being real is not weakness. It is rebellion. It is the act of standing firm in a world that demands you hide who you are. Being real does not mean being cruel or reckless. It means being honest. It means owning your flaws, your pain, and your truth without apology. Realness is not about perfection. It is about authenticity. It is about saying, "This is who I am," even if it makes others uncomfortable. The truth is, real people scare the world. They cannot be controlled or manipulated because they have stopped living for approval. They do not wear masks to fit in. They walk through the fire of judgment and still refuse to pretend. That kind of strength confuses those who rely on lies to feel safe. The world fears what it cannot fake, and realness cannot be faked. When you are real, you live lighter. You no longer waste energy hiding parts of yourself. You no longer build your worth on what others think. You find peace in honesty, even if it costs you comfort. Because being real may lose you people, but it gives you yourself. Realness is freedom. It is truth without disguise. It is power without permission. They pretend to be good, but the real ones dare to be honest. And in a world built on illusion, honesty is the most dangerous and beautiful thing you can be. Let them call you cold for being real. Let them call you heartless for not faking it. Every scar you carry tells a story of survival. Every truth you speak becomes armor against a world that feeds on lies. Pain is not your enemy. It is proof that you are alive. It is the fire that burns away the illusion and leaves only what is real. You do not need to be good for them. You need to be real for yourself. The world will try to convince you that softness means weakness and silence means peace. But strength is born in the moments when you refuse to pretend, when you face your pain instead of hiding it, when you let the darkness shape you instead of destroy you. Every wound you have ever hidden can become your greatest source of power. The same pain that once made you feel broken can become the reason you rise. Realness hurts at first because it strips away everything fake. But beneath that pain, freedom. Freedom from masks, freedom from judgment, freedom from the endless act of pretending. So let them talk. Let them misunderstand you. Let them walk away. The ones who cannot handle your truth were never meant to stand beside it. You are not here to please the crowd. You are here to burn through the lies and rise as something they can no longer ignore. This is phantom focus. We do not wear masks. We do not chase approval. We face the truth, no matter how cold it feels. The world fears real ones because real ones cannot be shaped, silenced, or controlled. They walk through fire without pretending it is rain. They speak truth, even when their voice shakes. Stop pretending to be good. Start daring to be real. Because being real is not about perfection. It is about courage. It is about standing in the light of your own truth and refusing to hide in the shadows of fear. When the masks finally fall, the ones who built their worth on illusion will disappear with them. But those who lived in truth will still be standing, unshaken and free. This is phantom focus. We do not seek comfort. We seek clarity. We do not follow the noise. We follow the truth. Because in a world full of actors, being real is the most powerful act of all.